We're live.
We're live, I think, guys. Sorry. I tried to get this started a second ago. It said rotate your phone. So I rotated my phone and it was a lock screen. But anyways, it's just me and Nate tonight. So if you wanted to talk to the cool ones, I'm sorry. They're not here. It's just us. But we're going to tell you guys all about tonight's episode. But more importantly than just the new episode, we want to let you guys know that we're praying for everybody that's going through so much different circumstances. But honestly, the whole world, this pandemic that's happening, whether you're sick or it's just economically affecting you, you can't work, you're in our thoughts and our prayers, and we're all in it together. But be safe wherever you are. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face. Try to be aware. If you do have to go out, get groceries, things like that, stay away from people as much as possible. You know everything that's being said on the news, but we know that God is in control and He cares about our situation. So we're in it together. We're praying for you guys, and hopefully it'll be back to some semblance of normal sooner rather than later. But about the episode tonight, there's a lot happening. Competition as always. If you keep up with my family through social media, you'll know that show episodes tend to air anywhere from a couple months to 3 or 4 months behind. So you're going to get to meet some of my brother Trace's girlfriend's family, and really sweet folks from down in Texas. And it's the Kell family. So if you kept up with my family, you'll know that they're not together anymore, but we just have only great things to say about their family and really good and kind people. So Trace and Cheney, maybe the timing wasn't right. God knows what's best, but they both had a great episode.
I tell you what.
Yeah, tell them that.
Even though this is a great story, if you watch tonight's episode, you will see where there's quite a few cool events that happen, and one of them is Trace and my family make a trip down to Texas, and
Some of them I didn't get to go.
They go to meet with Cheney Kell's family, and so Trace and Cheney had been talking for quite a few months, and they'd been getting closer and closer. And Trace said, "I feel like it's time to take the next step." So as they go to move forward and start a relationship together, you'll see Trace has a big question, and he's going to ask if Cheney will be his girlfriend and talk to Cheney's dad. And
that's a big step right there.
They run down to old Joe T. Garcia's and get some Tex-Mex, and you'll see all the drama and everything, that the suspense of getting this ready. And I tell you what, they pulled it off magically. And you're going to love tonight's episode. It was one of my most favorite, and it's so thoughtful.
And if you guys know how competitive we are as a family, but especially Trace, he's a great competitor and just talented at really any sport he plays. He gets into a sport that he's not as familiar with, but again, he's pretty good at it. So they go out to the baseball diamond, and you'll see who wins and how well they do.
I tell you what, though, one thing that did surprise me about this episode, I sat down to do interviews for this, and they started asking us questions about the go-kart races.
Oh my word, I forgot that was in this episode.
I thought
too.
If anybody is going to win at something, that Trace. The man's a certified deputy sheriff. The man's been to emergency drivers operations school. He knows how to do all the skidding, turns, and everything you can imagine. And he goes for a go-kart race with Cheney. And I guarantee you the results will surprise you as much as they did me.
That's very true. We will answer your questions. I'm sorry I'm a little shaky because I'm holding it. We try to rig it up some ways, and I might have made the wrong call. But I'm just holding the camera flipped around. So over the next few minutes, if it gets even shakier, I'm sorry. But we will read your questions if you got questions about the show. Again, we hope everybody, if you're just tuning in, is staying safe out there, listening to the administration's guidelines. This is a virus that information is changing, it seems, every day. There's so much unfamiliar territory, and so just being current on what the new guidelines are is hard. Like, I just looked up our state's new adjusted guidelines. Things are changing every day. It's very fluid. But just pray for everybody, especially those who are so strapped for finances right now. Thousands of people are out of their jobs and don't have that income, have to pay bills, rent, etc., things like that. So a lot of people need prayers, and just know that we're praying for you, and we love all you guys. So let's see what else is
Somebody
here.
from the Mount Airy concert said, "Do I remember you? Your little comment went by too fast." But
Oh, they're going fast.
I'll try
Sorry.
to remember you next time.
Yes. Let's see. How is the Nashville recovery going? We were able to work in Nashville after terrible tornadoes. I tore through there about, was it 3 or 4 weeks, a month ago?
Yeah.
Devastating, but we took some skid steers down there, a team of guys, and unfortunately we were just at another tornado in Jonesboro, Arkansas, which it's a town maybe 60, 70,000 people, but a tornado just tore through there.
Right in
So
the
much
middle of
devastation. I was actually doing some flight training, some solo cross-country time, and I saw a line of thunderstorms, so I got down at a little airport to let it blow over, but it almost blew me over. The tornado, there was one in Jonesboro, then I think 6 or 8 more tornadoes happened that night across that thunderstorm squall line, and one went just a few miles from the airport that I had kind of hopped down at, but thankfully we were okay. We were able to immediately get a team together and get down there and help clear roads, clear houses. Totally wiped out.
Yeah, but praise the Lord, in that tornado, nobody died. And
which
all the
was a
injuries
miracle.
were minor. We were there for search and rescue, and there wasn't a whole lot left to do, just because, praise the Lord, nobody was injured severely.
Hang on, I'm going to try to read some of these comments. The angle might get weird, but we're doing the best we can, guys. Someone says that their sister lost a job and that's a nurse. I do want to give a very special thanks and prayer for all the people out there on the front line. The doctors, the nurses, medical personnel, even the people, having to restock the stores. So many things are needed, and those people doing those emergency services to try to keep things ticking, try to keep people alive, keep people safe. All the law enforcement out there that has to stay on the job. It's not a lockdown for them. My brother is a full-time officer, and I just pray for those guys because I know that the workload is going up. It's not going down for them, and they're in harm's way even more often. So special prayer for all of them. Let's see. I do need a tripod. A tripod would be great. So what else is in? Oh, hey, to Searcy, Arkansas.
Girlfriend. Do you have a girlfriend?
What are we doing? I was just talking about the pandemic. We are trying to stay safe like everybody else and following the guidelines of our state and the administration. So we're being as safe as possible, and I hope you guys are as well. Freezing in Colorado.
Yeah. I saw somebody there ask Lawson, how's Esther Faith?
Yes, so if a lot of you guys kept up for 3 months, I was in the Philippines since really Thanksgiving to earlier into this year on kind of a special mission for a friend of mine that I'd met on one of my first trips to the Philippines. Make a long story short, precious little girl, a part of a pastor's family that we work with in the Philippines that needed a life-saving heart operation. And we went over there. Long story short, there's info about it on my personal Facebook page, but we were able to get a first step procedure to get her out of the woods. She was really, really going downhill, and we're able to put a stent in her heart and get her ready for an upcoming open heart surgery. With all of this stuff happening in the world, it's a miracle, and it's God's providence, the timing of how we were able to get that, because the window for her to get that open heart surgery and correction of the defect that she has is about 5 to 6 months after that first stent. So it's been a couple months. We set her and her mother up with the pastor family of our friends in Manila, and she's staying safe and staying away from everything. So thankfully, even though the country is locked down, they have food, they have everything they need, and she's going to be doing all right, Lord willing. And when this settles down, she'll be traveling to get that open heart surgery that she ultimately needs. But praise the Lord, the stenting... Shout out to whoever Nate said shout out to. The stenting worked well, so she is doing good. But keep her and her mother in your prayers, especially as you see it on the news all the time. People with other defects or underlying conditions are much more vulnerable to this whole situation. So that's a critical prayer request. Just pray that things stay smooth. Let's see. Any more questions? Nate, what time is it? We're supposed to get off when the new episode comes on.
Let me check.
We hope you already have your TV tuned
my phone is.
to Ringing Up Bates on UPtv, because the new episode's about to start. There's a train. Maybe that's letting us know that it's time. Hello to Alabama. It is 9 p.m. Guys, it's time. Again, I just want to close and remind you guys to just continue to pray for really everybody out there on the front line. The doctors, the medical personnel that are really risking everything to keep people safe and do the best they can to provide the care for the people in the most critical situation. We're praying for you. We hope all of you enjoy the show tonight, and stay safe out there.
All right, y'all have a good one. And remember, tweet along with the show with the hashtag Bringing Up Bates.
Bringing Up Bates. I might talk to you on Twitter. See you guys. Bye.
For full episodes, scenes, and exclusive videos of Bringing Up Bates, go to uptv.com/Bates.